When I talk with people who've lost someone to suicide, whether it's friends or family or patients, the main thing I try to impress is that unfortunately they are not alone, that there's a huge community of survivors out there. I think for many people, talking about it with someone else who's lost someone can be really helpful, so trying to connect them with support groups or other kinds of communities so that they can maybe find someone who had a similar experience. I think it's really tough because, as you know, when I've lost people, I've certainly spent, like we all do, spent time wondering, did I do enough? Did I miss something? How could we have prevented this? And those kinds of questions that you don't ever really get an answer to. I know for many survivors working in the field, that's why they work in this field, is that we want to try to give back and prevent future deaths.
Almost half of Americans know someone that has died by suicide, and a third of Americans feel that their life has been changed by losing someone to suicide. So it's not just family members, although family members' losses are profound, but it's our classmates, it's our neighbors, it's our teachers, our pastors, our friends. All sorts of people are impacted by suicide, and what we need to do is remember that we're all in this fight together. Having these experiences of being connected to other people and knowing that you're not alone can be very helpful. I think it's amazing that AFSP is a place that loss survivors and people with lived experience can kind of put their grief into action. We can no longer say, it's just a handful of family members. It's not 6, it's a lot of us. And that can create a lot of political will of people who don't want other families to experience what they're experiencing. And so using it for advocacy or using it to fund research, I think, is really an advantage to having AFSP do the work that it's doing.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Suicide rates are going up across all different populations in the United States, and there has been specific focus on folks in the military and those rates going up over time, particularly since the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Previously, being in the military had been protective. Actually, rates of suicide were lower in the military than in a civilian population. So this increase was really surprising to people in the military, and certainly folks in the military then do transition into the Department of Veterans Affairs, where they get health care and benefits and other things. The other thing is older men are at risk, and in the VA we're really treating two different groups of folks. Younger veterans who've served in Iraq and Afghanistan, again, that group that really is at higher risk transitioning from the military, and then older, mostly male veterans who are also at increased risk. Oftentimes in the older cohorts of veterans too, folks seek care in the VA if they don't have a lot of other resources. So historically, a lot of the veterans that do seek care have a lot of other challenges, psychosocial challenges, economic challenges, that also place them at increased risk for suicide. There's also publicly available new data from the Department of Veterans Affairs that really highlights all the good work that's been happening in the VA over the past 10 or so years. And in particular, that work has been focused on enhanced care for those at risk. And what that has resulted in is data that shows that veterans who are actually seeking care in the VA have decreased rates versus veterans who don't seek care in the VA. And so what we're really trying to do is figure out, one, how to help folks get into the VA system, but two, bring the good things that we're doing in the VA, the enhanced care that we're doing in the VA, outside the VA, into communities, and encouraging those best practices. Certainly one thing we can do, I think, across the board is help people have reasons for living. And there's lots of things that make people's lives feel like they're not worth living. And you know, I think what makes everybody's life worth living, that's like fill in the blank, right? And so part of our job is to help veterans find things that they can transition into from their really meaningful jobs in the military to a civilian life.
I wear orange for the loss of a sibling.
The white is for the loss of our child.
Green is for a personal struggle.
Purple is for losing a relative or friend.
We wear honor beads at the Out of the Darkness walks as a way to pay tribute to a loved one lost, a personal struggle, or a victory.
They come in different colors that represent the many ways that we're all connected to the cause of suicide prevention.
Since suicide so often is hidden and kept in the dark, the honor beads are really special because it's your way to be very open about your loss.
Gold is for losing a parent.
Silver represents the loss of a veteran or a first responder.
Red for losing a spouse or partner.
And teal represents having friends or family that struggle.
When I see other people with the same colored beads as me, it gives me hope that there's a future for all of us.
It's fantastic being here with these people who feel how I feel.
I wear orange, teal, and purple beads.
I wear green and teal beads.
I wear silver and teal beads.
And we all wear blue beads to show we support the cause.
Find your connection at afsp.org/honorbeads.
In working with suicide prevention using technology, I think there's two pieces that we have to look at. On the one hand, there's how do we detect suicide risk and how do we deliver psychological and other evidence-based interventions to people. So this detect and deliver model is something that we've been working on for a while. We're using technology from smartphones to try and ascertain whether there are signals that people passively provide that may give us some indication of whether they're at suicide risk. An example of that might be the tweets that they're making. We can look at and analyze the content of blogs or tweets to see if we can detect references to suicide. And that mechanism, we've been able to show that it is possible to cluster different sorts of tweets with different sorts of people. On the detection side, that's about delivering internet interventions either through the smartphone itself or through web applications. And there are many examples of that. Somebody might be looking around on, say, a mental health website for information about anxiety, depression, or suicide. They may find one of the websites that we have, which are free and open to the public. They get onto that particular website, they register, and they can do it anonymously, and they can undertake an automatized psychological intervention online. Our experience with using these apps and so on in different communities suggests that people do seek them out. But I don't think we can ever underestimate the low levels of mental health literacy around mental illness and their relationship to stigma around mental illness. So in some ways, these apps can be attractive to people because they can do them anonymously and they can learn the emotions that they have and what they mean. Technology can actually amplify the effects of, say, psychotherapeutic programs to those people who don't have access to them through face-to-face services. So really, if we're going to try and capture those people who don't reach health services, the internet is a mechanism by which we can try and reach out to those people.
Good morning and welcome to the 2020 Out of the Darkness experience. My name is Sarah Benedict and I'm one of the chairs of today's experience. I have with me here today ABC 10 anchor Mike Duffy. How are you today, Mike?
Good morning, Sarah. I'm doing great. I'm so honored that you guys asked me to be back here again this year, and it means a lot for me that I can give back to AFSP and to the Sacramento Valley community. Yes, I am also a survivor. My sister died by suicide 7 years ago, so I just want to say to everybody that I've been in your shoes. I'd like to start by welcoming everybody. We know that this format is different than we've done in years past, but we're honored that you've joined us today, and we hope it'll be a day of remembrance, of strength, and of healing for you. It's a day to reflect, to remember those that we've lost, to honor those who struggle, and to raise awareness for both mental health and suicide prevention. We want to welcome all of you who are here because you care about preventing suicide. So let's begin by hearing from our local area director, Leslie Young. Leslie?
Hi, this is Leslie Young, Area Director for the Greater Sacramento Area Chapter of American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And on behalf of AFSP, I would like to welcome you to our 2020 Sacramento Out of the Darkness experience. We're sorry that we can't gather in person this year, but we want to make sure that everyone stays safe and healthy. So we're so excited that you've decided to join us for our experience. The team has worked really hard to put together a great program, and we're so happy that you're joining us. Please remember that you're not alone. Even though we can't get together, we're still connected. And if you need any extra information, I would invite you to go to our website at www.afsp.org. There's some really great information on there on dealing with mental health stress during times like this, and just some really helpful information. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Please reach out if you need someone to chat with. Reach out to a friend. Be kind to one another. Remember, we're all going through this together, and we will get through this together. And we hope to see you next year in person. Thank you so much for your support.
We acknowledge all of the connections that you bring to the Out of the Darkness experience today. Whether you have lost a loved one to suicide, been engaged in your own struggle with mental illness, or are here to support your family and friends, we are glad that you have joined us. We want you to know that you are not alone. This year has brought many challenges, but the AFSP family still stands, and we are here to support one another. The AFSP is a national organization with chapters in all 50 states. Let's take a moment to hear from our Chief Medical Officer, Christine Moutier.
Hi everyone, Christine Moutier, Chief Medical Officer at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. It's really my pleasure to take this opportunity to thank you for being involved and participating in the Out of the Darkness experience. Even though we can't be together in person, we can come together to raise awareness about suicide and suicide prevention, and to support each other and the mission at AFSP. Thank you to our hardworking volunteers and staff for supporting the Out of the Darkness experience. Without their tireless efforts, we could not continue the life-saving work in suicide prevention that we do at AFSP. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about what has been going on at AFSP related to our work and the mission. This past year, we have funded 38 new suicide prevention research studies, and that brings our total current investment to $20 million, funding 100 ongoing current research studies in suicide prevention, making us the largest private funder of suicide prevention research. Through our 30,000 plus voluntary field advocates, we are leading the way in mental health and suicide prevention advocacy at the federal and state level, with over 50 state laws and 13 major federal policies being enacted into legislation just in the last several years alone. And most recently, AFSP has played a role in leading the establishment of the 988 three-digit number for people in crisis. We are truly a grassroots meets science organization with a long-standing dedication to those who have lost loved ones to suicide, and now people with lived experience as well. But on the Saturday before Thanksgiving each year, many of you know that AFSP supports hundreds of large and small international Survivors of Suicide Loss Day events. And in 2019, there were 417 of those events in 26 countries around the world. And this November, we hope to see the same, even through virtual means of coming together. We are also working at AFSP in collaboration with the media and entertainment industry to shine a light on hopefulness in mental health and ways that we can support people who are struggling long before a suicidal crisis is reached. So by working with these content creators, we can make sure that stories that are being developed now for media and entertainment are drawing on the best research in terms of the difference that family members, mental health professionals, teachers, counselors, that we can all make, and that hope and resilience are in fact possible, and not only possible, but that we can make a difference in that way for suicide prevention. So none of that would be possible without your support. And we thank you again for joining in the Out of the Darkness experience, joining with us to prevent suicide. With all of us working together, we can and we will prevent suicide. Thank you so much.
We know it's been a tough year and we want you to know how much the Sacramento chapter appreciates your support. Here's a message from our board chair, Claire Rankin.
Hey everybody, my name is Claire and I am the chair of the board for the Greater Sacramento chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And I want to thank you all so much for becoming a part of this great experience. I know this year has been tough. Everybody has had to make drastic changes in their personal lives, their work lives, and even in the way we interact with our nonprofits such as AFSP. However, we have been moved by the extreme outpouring of love we have received at all of our events so far, and we absolutely feel connected to you today. Your work is so important. Even though we can't be together in person, your generous contributions, your time, your effort, even just speaking to your family, friends, and sharing your passions on social media helps grow our message so much. As we head into 2021, we are so excited to take what we've learned from this digital space and use it to have even more great programs and great content no matter what we're able to do with regards to COVID. Whether we can see you in person, whether we see you continually on this digital space, or if we can do a combination of the two. We are so excited to bring you even more programs, more advocacy, and more connections from Sacramento all the way to the Oregon border and all the way to Tahoe. We hope you'll continue to keep an eye on the great work we're doing and join us next year for our campus walks in the spring, our hike for hope in the summer, and again for our community walks next fall. We hope we'll be able to see you in person, but if not, we will definitely see you here. We love you, thank you, and no matter what, we will stand together to fight suicide.
One of my favorite things about the Out of the Darkness walk at the Capitol every year is meeting the community partners who come out and spend the day with us. There are so many great nonprofits offering a variety of resources in the Sacramento area. Check out our YouTube channel for more information on organizations such as Friends for Survival, JJ's Hello Foundation, and Each Mind Matters.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. It's awesome to know that we're surrounded by so many great resources here in the Sacramento area with all of our local nonprofits. And for everyone tuning in, we have a great program lined up for you today. We want to make sure that you get the most out of your time with us, so we have a few announcements that we'd like to run by you. Donations will be accepted at afsp.org/Sacramento Walk until December 31st, 2020. Anyone who raises at least $150 by today, September 26th, will receive an Out of the Darkness Experience t-shirt, which will be mailed directly to you, and that means that you still have some time left. Now, if you're watching from Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, we'd love to see your comments, so tell us what you think. Tell us who you're walking for. Tell us where you're joining us from today, or maybe even how you're staying connected during this pandemic. We're here to connect with you today, and we want to hear from you. Our team of volunteers is actively monitoring the comment feed during this broadcast, so please feel free to chime in at any time. Okay, if you post pictures to your social media, be sure to use the official hashtag SacWalk2020. That's hashtag SacWalk2020. And we've got a couple giveaways for you today. The first will be based on donations raised so far. Everyone who has raised money this year will get an entry into the giveaway, and anyone who raised over $100 will get one additional entry for every $100 raised. The second giveaway will be for the top 20 fundraisers only.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
One of the most important pieces of our events is sharing our stories and experiences with one another. So we'd like to begin our honor bead ceremony. It's a way for us to highlight all the reasons that we're here today and to help us join together. So we have a special guest with us for this piece of the program. He's co-owner of Riscate Coffee in Elk Grove. He's a longtime supporter of AFSP and he's a good friend. Please welcome Vlad Casillas. Vlad?
Thank you, Mike. Honor beads are a way for us to represent our connection to the issues and help us connect to one another around our common stories and shared experiences. Each of us has our own story and reason for being here. Our honor beads pay tribute to those reasons by recognizing a loved one lost, a personal struggle, or a victory over this invisible illness. They come in many colors, representing the diversity of our community's connection to the cause. I wear orange for the loss of my brother. Orange represents the loss of a sibling. Thank you for everyone that submitted a video and shared their story with us. Let's see some of those videos.
Hi, I'm Lisa Gutierrez, and I wear gold for the loss of my dad and blue because I support the cause. And this is my daughter, Angelica.
And I wear purple for my grandpa and blue for the cause.
I wear two colors. I wear red and I wear purple.
My name is Shireen, and I wear the teal because I support the fight of suicide. And I wear the silver because my dad was in the military, and I wear the gold because of my father.
Hey guys, my name is Vanessa. Today I'm wearing a set of blue beads to support suicide prevention, and also a pair of silver beads to support suicide prevention with first responders and law enforcement.
I'm her husband, Chance Andes. I'm here too, supporting this great cause, and really everything, but these are the ones that hit home for me, so.
Hello, my name is Josh Anderson Sr. I support AFSP in the Walk for Awareness and Suicide Prevention by wearing white for the loss of my son JJ, teal for supporting someone who struggles or has attempted, blue for suicide prevention, and green for a personal struggle of mental health issues and or attempt. Thank you, and remember, to the world you may be one person, but to one person you're the world.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I walk in honor of my brother Brad, who died by suicide in 2012. For Brad, I wear the orange beads. I also wear the blue beads in support of the cause. It's my hope that one day we will live in a world without suicide, and that mental health will be taken just as seriously as physical health.
I wear white beads for the loss of a child. It was my child, family member, and I also wear blue beads for supporting the cause. I lost my 14-year-old daughter to suicide in 2016. She was only 14 years old. So being able to participate in the walks has given me a sense of hope and also camaraderie, and being able to be with so many people that are going through the same thing that I'm going through. And I hope that we can reduce suicide, as is the AFSP goal. And I also hope that we can bring mental health into our science curriculum in our schools.
Thank you so much to everybody for sharing your stories with us. And if you're watching us live, we'd love for you to comment. Tell us why you're wearing those beads, what colors you're wearing. We know that you guys have been commenting throughout this program, telling us why you're here today. So we'd love to hear even more from you. I just want to tell you guys a little bit about my personal story. I'm actually wearing orange today. I'm actually wearing a shirt that we made for my little sister. My sister Caitlin died about 7 years ago at the age of 23. And she was one of those people that nobody would have suspected was even going through a hard time. She was the best friend of everybody. So being here is very important to me, and being able to be with all of you here in the Sacramento area is really special. And I know, Sarah, you also have a personal story.
I do, yes. I also wear orange for the loss of my brother Brad, who died by suicide in 2012. So I became involved with AFSP in 2013. So this is my 7th year walking. Yeah, so it's really great to see everyone coming out today and supporting us.
Yeah, it definitely is. And we know a lot of you come here for a variety of reasons, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's just because you want to support the cause. AFSP does amazing work. And as far as a nonprofit goes, a huge percentage of everything that they collect goes straight back into their research. We know that right now they have 100 ongoing studies. That's an incredible number. And I know that we're waiting for some comments. Sarah, have you seen any so far?
I have. We've been getting a lot of great comments today. Let's read some of those comments. Okay, looks like Dawn Fordham says she walks for her son and her mother, as well as several friends.
All right, Chris Harris says, I wear orange for my brother.
Vampire Coacher 1 says, my son Joshua Reynolds.
Stephanie, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce your last name, but I'll just say Stephanie. She says, I wear gold beads in honor of my dad, who I lost in 2014.
Okay, Lindsay Swanberg says she walks for herself and for all of those who struggle silently.
Andrea Bingham says, watching in honor of all those who lost a loved one to suicide.
Kayla Heineman says she walks to remind herself that she is not alone. So thankful to be doing this for the second time.
Vicky says, I wear white beads for the loss of a child. So proud of Sarah Benedict for all the volunteer work she does for AFSP. You got a shout out there, Sarah.
And Skip Jones says, I wear white beads for the loss of my son. And I've got one more comment for you today, Mike. Jane Martin says, I walk for my niece, Sue, who took her own life on, her 24th birthday. I also walk to support the cause. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you, Jane, and thank you, everybody, for sharing your stories with us today.
All right, I'd like to take a moment now to recognize our generous sponsors today. Sutter Health, Discovery Mood and Anxiety Program, Federated Insurance, Sierra Vista Hospital, the Folsom Sierra Wellness Clinic, Oshetsky Orthodontics, Caps Pizza, RochelleChew.com, Riscate Coffee, Sacramento News and Review, Bonneville International, Minuteman Press Midtown, and our national sponsor, the Allergen Foundation. All right, now it's time for a giveaway. We want to give special thanks to everyone who raised any amount of money this year. It's been a really tough year, and we really appreciate all of your hard work. So this first giveaway is for anyone who has raised any amount of money. Everyone who has done any fundraising receives at least one entry, and anyone who has raised over $100 receives an additional entry for every 100 raised. Winners will be contacted by email to arrange their prize pickup. If you don't hear from us within 48 hours, please contact us at sacramentowalk@gmail.com.
All right, so we're going to draw for our first prize today, and Sarah is going to play our Vanna White. So Sarah, why don't you roll, I guess, to see who's going to win. Our first prize today, you actually get two prizes. From Laguna Creek Sports Club, you get 1 month free family membership, and golf for 4 from Valley High Country Club. So Sarah is reaching in to tell us who might win.
Okay, the first winner is Haley Coury, C-O-U-R-Y.
All right, Haley, congratulations. And I'll repeat this, but make sure that you check your email. That's where we'll send instructions on how to claim your prize today. Okay, we have a second prize drawing as well right now. And the winner of this prize gets a Rubio's Coastal Grill gift certificate. And they also get tickets for 4 to B Street Theater.
All right, this lucky winner is Jacqueline Moran. And I also want to remind listeners today that if they don't hear from us, that they should contact us at sacramentowalk@gmail.com, just in case they don't have the correct email on file.
All right, congratulations to all our winners.
Many of us found AFSP after losing a loved one to suicide. We come together every year to remember those that we've lost and to connect with one another. And of course, we can't be together at the Capitol this year, but we still want to honor those that we've lost. Thank you to everyone who submitted pictures for our remembrance tribute. We're truly honored to have your loved one be a part of our program this morning. Thank you again to everyone who submitted a picture for the Remembrance Tribute.
What was most helpful for me after my dad's death was talking about it to anyone that would listen. I need to be happy. My dad would want me to be happy. Because of my loss, I know that my capacity for love and helping others is so strong.
We'd now like to take the time to recognize Team Andrew. This is their third Out of the Darkness walk, and they've been working hard all year to raise money and awareness for AFSP. Now, as of the cutoff time, they were the #1 team. Let's check out this interview with Team Andrew, and then we'll find out if they kept that lead.
We're here today with Perry and Denise from Team Andrew, the #1 top fundraising team for the 2020 Out of the Darkness experience. Perry, tell us a little bit about how you found AFSP.
I found AFSP shortly after my son died. He died by suicide in Scotland. He was pursuing his PhD in philosophy.
Wow, I'm so sorry to hear about that. How many years have you participated in the walk?
This will be number 3.
Great, and I see that you have a couple of different colored beads. Can you tell us a little bit about the bead colors?
One, of course, for my son Andrew. Blue is for support of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Teal is for a family member that struggles with mental health. And silver is for the loss of a military person that I knew.
Thank you. You know, this year's been really tough with fundraising, you know, with COVID-19 and everything. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came to be the #1 top fundraising team?
It floors me. The support I've had is phenomenal. I've had donations as far away as Europe and Canada, and they just, once they hear my story or they hear from someone else, they want to be involved, they want to give money to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. It's heartwarming. I cry nearly every day.
Oh, that's really great. Do you find that people are more open with you about mental health and suicide, knowing that you've lost someone to suicide?
They do on the one hand, because I'm very open, especially on social media. I do want to have that dialogue with people. I don't want them to not be afraid to have conversations if they're struggling. So yes, I'm an open book. I will talk to anyone. They feel comfortable talking to me.
That's great. Thank you for that. And you know, this year we're going virtual because of the pandemic. So the Out of the Darkness experience will be happening this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. on our websites. There's a lot of pros and cons to that. Denise, can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing to prepare for the virtual walk?
We've put a lot out on social media that we are going to be walking, that anyone can join us while we're walking. If you're not comfortable being with people that you're not quarantined with, you can walk with those people that you've been quarantined with. It's not too late to sign up. It's not too late to fundraise. I say, if you can walk, please walk. If you can donate, please donate. But bottom line, we just want people to be aware and know that they're not alone in this struggle.
Absolutely. And you know, even though we have a walk on a certain day every year, this is really a year-long effort for all of us, really. You know, just getting the word out in our communities and just speaking openly about mental health and just, you know, really making strides towards a world without suicide. So I want to thank you ladies for taking the time to speak with us today. We're so excited to have you as part of the AFSP family, and we're looking forward to many years together. Thank you.
I'm muted. Okay, there, I'm unmuted. I just want to say congratulations to everybody. It is still neck and neck, you guys. It's been a tremendous outpouring of love and support for AFSP and all of us supporting research. So I just wanted to tell you guys what we're looking at right now in terms of numbers. First of all, congratulations to Perry and Team Andrew. You guys have raised $7,108 as of today. And Rebecca and Caleb's crew, you guys raised $6,871. So it's like right there. And of course, we love some healthy competition, and we all know that this goes toward the best cause imaginable. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, raising money is a challenge during this pandemic. So we'd also like to shout out to our top 10 fundraising teams. Let's take a look at who those are right now. Okay, so we have Team Andrew, and like we said, Caleb's crew as well. We have Team Meow Tones, Team Marrying, Team Horizon, Team McKinnon, Isabel, Lissa Bug, Team Jehu, I hope I pronounced that correct, and Team Jake. Thank you guys so much. You might not even realize just how much your efforts do for us. It's been a tough year, and we all know that around here. So on that note, let's get to another giveaway. Sarah, this one is going to be for just the top 20 fundraisers, and each person got one entry. So I can't hear you at the moment, Sarah.
Technical difficulties, sorry.
Always the case, yeah.
Okay, I'm prepared. So we're going to
All
call a winner for the top 20. All right, and that person is Nicole Grelu. So congratulations, Nicole.
Congratulations, Nicole. And if you're wondering what you won, you got 6 bottles of wine from Soban Estate Winery. Enjoy that. We're all a little bit jealous. And of course, a lot of you guys sent us pictures and videos of you walking, and they're still coming in. And if you still have them, by all means, send them to us. We're going to be posting that to social media just a little bit later. Okay, everybody. And we are nearing the end of our program today. So I want to take this time to thank all of you for joining us today and for your commitment to stop suicide. All right, Sarah, so this is the big grand finale. Can you tell us how much money we have raised collectively today?
Absolutely. But first, I want to take a minute to thank you for being our MC today. We're so grateful to have you as part of the AFSP family, and I look forward to a continued relationship going forward. I also really want to give a shout out to the volunteers who worked tirelessly to get this program set up for us today. It definitely was a change from what we normally do, and there were a lot of unknowns, but they really came together as a team and pulled this off, and I'm really proud of them. So
yeah, you guys are awesome.
Volunteers. Okay, so far, as of right now, we have raised over $55,000. So that is amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible. And like we said, this is a tough year, right? I mean, across the board, fundraising is down, but you know, for such a worthy cause, that's a tremendous number. Thank you, everybody.
It is. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so a couple other things to remember before we go. Don't forget that you can keep donating all the way up until December 31st. So you still have some time to go. If people reach out to you and say, oh, I wanted to donate, you still can. And just keep in mind, guys, that anytime, if you have any questions for us, you can always reach us at our email address and, of course, all of our handles. If you want to reach out to me at any point in time, you can, I'm on all media platforms at @SimplyDuffy. By all means, if you guys just want to talk, I'm always there for you. And I think we have top 20 fundraisers, if I'm not mistaken, right, guys? Let's take a look at that. So everybody, thank you once again. Perry Jones, Rebecca Love, Marshall Perry, Donna Matthews, Barbara Bain, Daniel McCord, Nicole Grialou, Team McKinnon, Rochelle Chu, Sarah Benedict, Lauren Eason, Ernest Batara, Stacy Mamiya, Jessica Munoz Juarez, Kayla Reynoso, Team Rhino, Haley Curry, Melina Leaky, Brenda S. Phillips, and Kevin Brown. I'm sorry if I butchered any of your names, but I think you understand my sentiment. Thank you so much to everybody. And Sarah, I will turn it back over to you, if that's all right with you.
When you leave here today, please remember to take care of yourself and one another. Don't be afraid to have those difficult conversations because talking really does save lives. You can make a difference. That's it for our program. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Although the Out of the Darkness experience only happens once a year, we are here year-round to help you find the resources you need. If you have any questions or would like to become involved with the AFSP, please reach out to us at sacramentowalk@gmail.com.
Almost half of Americans know someone that has died by suicide, and a third of Americans feel that their life has been changed by losing someone to suicide. So it's not just family members, although family members' losses are profound, but it's our classmates, it's our neighbors, it's our teachers, our pastors, our friends, all sorts of people are impacted by suicide, and what we need to do is remember that we're all in this fight together. Having these experiences of being connected to other people and knowing that you're not alone can be very helpful. I think it's amazing that AFSP is a place that loss survivors and people with lived experience can kind of put their grief into action. We can no longer say, it's just a handful of family members. It's not 6, it's a lot of us. And that can create a lot of political will of people who don't want other families to experience what they're experiencing. And so using it for advocacy or using it to fund research, I think, is really an advantage to having AFSP do the work that it's doing.